How did you come by this opportunity?
Well, like I'm sure a bunch of young black men across the country, not only here in America and Canada, I got the script and I didn't know all that much about Jesse Owens, but after researching him and learning about him and reading the script, I was blown away by it, by his whole story and his whole life, and really I just told my manager I have to audition to play him.
What was the one specific thing that caught your eye, or was there several things?
Several things, but even more so than the athlete he was, the man that he was attracted me to wanting to be in this film the most. Hearing from his daughters, the father that he was, the man he was, the humanitarian he was. Those were things that were very important to me to make sure that I relayed in this film.
The training for this, what did you have to endure physically?
A lot. When I first found out that I was cast as Jesse, I was working on another film. I was working on Selma, and every off day I had on Selma, I'd just go down to the track at Georgia Tech and start working with the coaches there. So that started about 2 months beforehand, and I had been familiar with athletics, basketball, football, volleyball growing up, but never track. So it was a whole another beast to me. I had to learn how to run fast, but I also had to learn how to run like Jesse because his running style is so particular. So, for me, 2 months beforehand, I would just run like him so many times, run like him to the point where I couldn't run like him anymore. That training and that running really just transcended throughout the whole filming process. So it was about five-month period.
Your two biggest films so far, you're playing African American icons.
Yeah.
How does that feel looking at it as from a Canadian standpoint? You know what I'm trying to say?
Mm-hmm.
It's got to be different because the history isn't shared the way it would be for an African American actor.
Yeah. Well, I mean, first of all, these characters are so much bigger than African American icons. They are world icons, heroes, and people who are beloved the world over. So I didn't look at this as an American story. I saw this as a world story, and I saw Selma also as a world story. The civil rights movement changed the world. Jesse Owens changed the world. So, those all have a direct effect on all of us, really. I can't say that my experience has been perfect in Canada. Obviously we've grown up in different times, but racism is a problem the world over. So it was just something I had to learn about. I had to do my research. I saw David Oyelowo, who's a British Nigerian, play Dr. King. I knew it was very possible. I just had to do my research.
Did you film in Selma? Were you in Selma?
Yeah.
What was that experience like for you? And I'm asking for one reason. I lived there.
Oh, wow.
For a year.
Oh, wow.
In my teen years. And the last time I went back was 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
To show my kids
Yeah.
what it was like.
Uh-huh.
So what was that experience like?
Incredible. When we were, we rode down to Selma pretty much on a bus. I think we were coming from Montgomery. And as a cast, I can just remember everyone being in awe when we saw the Edmund Pettus Bridge for the first time. And just being there and sharing in that moment with them, it was just, it was, I can't even begin. I was speechless and just blown away to think about the history and some of the things that had happened on that bridge.
Another thing that struck me about Race, the relationship between Jesse Owens and his coach.
Yeah.
What do you and Jason do to flush that out? Because there seemed to be genuine affection there. You know what I mean? It's great acting,
Yeah.
but there seemed to have been a bond there.
Yeah. I mean, he's incredible. It's so funny because when we first met, we talked very, very little about the script and about the story we were about to tell. We just sort of hung out. We talked sports. He's a big basketball guy, a big baseball guy. We talked sports all day long. We both understood what it was like to be an athlete, to be coached. So that whole coach-athlete dynamic, we understood quite well. And I think that, as Jesse and Larry got closer in the film, Jason and I just got closer in real life. And I think that, people will be pleasantly surprised to see what he did.